How's it going, guys? Jesse, Desert Sands Mechanical. Today I'm going to be showing you how easy it is to fit a new Fatz Fab Airbox to your GUN Hilux. Righto, so first we're going to remove this intake pipe with a 10mm. Once you've got the intake pipe nice and loose, I'm going to remove the 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3, with a 10mm and a long extension. Once you've got those 3 bolts removed, your airbox should be able to move around like this. Take your pipe, give it a little twist to break the seal, and that should pop off. I always like to straight away take off the clamp, take a rag and put it over the pipe, and then put the clamp on there to hold it. Once we've got the airbox unbolted and the pipe undone, we're going to remove this harness. The reason we unbolt it first is it lets us turn it over to be able to get to the harder to get to clips. Easy to get to some of them with long nose pliers. I like to use a 90-degree O-ring pick. You just push in the little locks on either side and it'll pop out. What you're trying to do on the inside is you're trying to push that clip in and this one in. So we'll pull that one in, walk that side out, push that one in, and then the other side will come out. So we're going to repeat that on the rest of the remaining clips. Alright, so if you were to be fitting the Fatz Fab snorkel, they do provide a template in here. So you just line up that bolt hole, hold it with the bolt, and there's your stencil for you to trace and cut out a bigger hole so that you can get your snorkel in there. We're not going to be fitting the snorkel. Now it's time to set up the airbox for install. Next we're going to be removing the 2 screws, or to remove that one, from the MAF sensor and installing it into the other housing. Now the other housing does come with its own screws, so just keep these ones with the old airbox. I'm going to take a 3mm Allen key and undo these 2 screws for the MAF sensor and install the MAF sensor into position in there. Now there's an arrow for the direction from the airbox into the engine. Once you've got the MAF sensor installed, I'm going to remove the rubbers. Now with the rubbers you'll be able to push out the little piece of metal on the inside, and that'll aid you in getting the actual rubber out. Install them into the new airbox and reinstall a little piece of metal. If you've, like me, already removed the paper off the cover, don't put it face down. You'll scratch it and then you'll be sad, or at least I would be. It's time to dummy fit the airbox and see how it's going to fit. When we install it, this may end up being in the way and we may have to relocate it. So just dummy fit it to start with and see if it's going to crush the wiring or not. In my case, I think I'm going to get lucky. Because I'm a sucker for the aesthetics, is feed the harness for your MAF sensor under this harness here. 1, 2, 3, 3rd clip back, clip him in, and then I'm going to cut these ones off because I know I'm not going to be reinstalling the old airbox. And even if I ever wanted to, I reckon you'd be able to buy these clips from Toyota. So I don't think they'd be too expensive. I'm going to carefully cut this without going too deep and cutting into the harness. On the L-shaped one, just cut the tape. Now I'm going to secure this harness onto this section. Now we're going to go ahead and install the airbox for real this time, lining up our mounts and making sure that where we've just secured that harness, we're not going to crush it. Once it's in and lined up, we'll take our 3 bolts and put them back in. Your airbox didn't fit because you had a power steering reservoir in the way, there is a bracket kit in the kit to allow you to relocate it. In our instance, we didn't need that. So that's that one bolted down. Now we need to put a new pipe to go join the airbox into the turbo. Ensure that your pipe's nice and clean, as my one is, and then we just soft mount up the rubbers to start with. Not going to clamp them just yet. We can figure out how we want it to go. All secure. I'm going to hold it so that it doesn't move and pop him off. Ready for the hose clamps. Next we're going to position our hose clamps, keeping in mind how we want them to end up sitting. So if you want the heads to point a certain way, just think about how we're going to do it to make sure that they do end up that way. Righto, plug in the MAP sensor. Once you've got all these clamps done up, you're pretty well right to fire up the engine. Over the next about 1,000 k's or so, you're going to want to come back and recheck these hose clamps. You're going to bed in as the silicone hose lets them seat. The other thing that was different, or may have been different on your car, is if you had a snorkel, then obviously you would have connected the snorkel pipe. Other than that, it's just a matter of some new models making sure that you adjust this harness if you have to get it out of the way so you don't crush it. And if you've got a power steering reservoir in here, then there is a relocation kit for you to be able to move it. Still watching at this point, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whatever you're watching on if you haven't already. If you want any Fatz Fab products for your own rig, then feel free to hit us up. If you want to see us do any more modifications to the GR, then let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.